Hi friends, this is Mangalaprathaban talking from India. Today I'm going to talk about some of the finest strategies that teachers can make use of to initiate teacher interaction. Teacher interaction strategies are extremely important when it comes to really making things work for the learners because learner learning time and teacher teaching time could possibly vary only on the basis of strategies that you have, right? So you need to really make sure that your strategies are highly dynamic and you get to know the mindset of the students and look at what kind of interest they have. Is there anything that you can do about creating interest in the classroom? Because you need to really talk something interesting for them on a day-to-day basis. Please remember, if your class is not interesting, they're not going to listen to you. And you're just going to teach only what is there in the textbook, and you don't really talk about anything relevant to them, and it is going to be absolutely boring for them. So as a teacher, you have a responsibility to make your class highly interesting. Only when they listen, there is learning. When they don't listen, there is no learning. Very simple. But sometimes learning inputs could be actualized at a later point of time. Students would say, after about 2 years or 3 years, I got to know what he was saying, but at that time I couldn't get it. So that's a real challenge. Of course, there could be learning difficulties in making all the learners participate in what a teacher possibly says, but it is easy for a teacher to identify how to make it quite relevant by comparing a modern example or a quick example. It could be about talking about a particular movie that he or she has watched very recently. It's also to initiate discussion among themselves so they could participate and share their ideas, opinions, suggestions. So if there is an open discussion or a free conceptual construction which they could engage themselves by interacting with others, then there is a possibility of doing the best, right? So learning involves participation, and learning is all about participative process of sharing one's ideas, getting to know about new ideas, also internalizing, the new research outputs, and looking at what could possibly your perspective. So trying to remain open-minded, trying to be free from all kinds of social biases could be the finest step that you can possibly think about when you conduct interactions. So I would say teacher interactions play a vital role in making things quite relevant. And most of us who are trying to make learning highly relevant ought to understand that every learner has a unique personality. And learners' learning pace varies depending on the context. Only when you talk about very interesting things, then the learning pace could be accelerated. And learning requires also close monitoring. So you need to really monitor what is being learned and how are they being used. Like for example, something you have talked about, some phonetic principle. For example, you say when you have sibilants at the end of a word, and whenever you add es with sibilants, like for example, a bus, you say buzzes. You say catch, you say catches, right? You say judge, judges. So you need to really say this es becomes is after sibilants. So you need to identify sibilants and list them out and give them examples and make them practice and then see whether there is a qualitative change in their pronunciation. Then you are very successful. Please remember, your success is all about making real-time change in the quality of communication that students and and teachers make. So, as a teacher educator, I would say every teacher is also important because the unique teaching style of a teacher has to be kept in mind when we train them. And we should also give them time to cognize, understand, come up with examples, look at the sample handouts available, and then try to implement what you want to implement. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So you would have to give them time to incorporate changes, to modify themselves, to get to know the challenges in their presentations or even teaching techniques. So reflective teaching is also very important. And teacher interactions depend upon teacher interest and learner interest. And learners ought to be motivated. At the same time, teacher motivation is very important for learners to get motivated. If teachers are demotivated, that means you are going to affect the learners. That's why I would say Those of you who are handling teachers, managing teachers on day-to-day basis, if teachers are unhappy and you are not going to get the right output at all, please remember, come what may, you will have to really keep in mind how to make teachers quite happy, how to stay them motivated, how to recognize and reward them, and make them quite, motivated to contribute the best. So making them work towards the common mission of an organization is all about having the right motivators as leaders to guide them, support them, encourage them. I hope this video has been useful to you. If you have any comments, you are free to, type it out, and you can interact with me. I am there, available to support you in every way. You can always mail me. You can get to know more about me. Visit my website www.mangalaprathaban.com. That is Mangalaprathaban.com. Those of you who listen to my podcast in Apple iTunes and Spotify and Radio Public, Anchor, and all the other platforms, make sure you spend some time listening to my other motivational podcasts as well, because people from more than 28 countries listen to those podcasts. And hope this video has been useful. Please share this video, ask your friends to subscribe it. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. Bye bye. See you.